Remember that they're changing my voice. I'm not gay. This video is for everybody, not just whites or Jews or LGBT people, for everybody. I want you all to know that it's not normal or natural to insist that everything becomes like you without a morally precise and divine justification. And I can't imagine what that justification would be. It like couldn't exist. Bear with me now. So quite often we see Donald Trump criticizing Ilhan Omar, right? And I'm not taking sides per se in this video. I'm just telling you the facts here. Ilhan Omar married someone who is not Somalian. We have no reason to believe that she wants to make America like Somalia or to make everyone in America Somalian or Somalian washed. We have no reason to believe that. We do have reason to believe that a lot of conservatives, all of them, what have you, want to make America white and whitewashed, which is not normal or natural. White people are not indigenous to the United States of America. White people's culture has changed significantly. There's cars, there's TVs, there's air conditioning, there's planes, there's iPhones and social media and so on and so forth. Earlier in America's history, women had trouble with their property rights. They didn't have the right to vote, what have you. Things have changed considerably. Again, things have changed considerably. And I've yet to see a single conservative who would argue that we should get rid of, air conditioning and planes and phones and so on and so forth and go back to, horses and donkeys and wagons or whatever. Really more horses. But yet, they seem to be rejecting my region argument. Regions. Regions for people to be able to pursue happiness. We see that censorship is a problem, and the solution is more simple than they make it seem. For those who do not want to see certain videos, they can have certain censorship filters put into their devices or on their account on social media sites. Don't suppress our freedom of speech. It is not normal or natural to suppress people's freedom of speech for any agenda, any racial agenda, any gay agenda, what have you. Now, when we're talking about secularism, again, secularism and a secular government and not a divine government, you can have a region for LGBT people who want a higher dose of LGBT culture. You can have a region for multicultural people, including LGBT people, where they're given their rights completely. If other regions want to give up their rights, I don't know why they would, but let's say they did. They want to be censored, then they go to that region. Say we took $10 billion and built a massive region with that money and money from people's savings when they buy land, what have you, for people who are completely free. No censorship, no nonsense, completely free. With a logical economy, a sane government. The reason why we don't have this because people are behaving in a way that is not normal or natural. Or logical, mind you. Which has to do with normal. The word moral is scrambled into the word normal. Okay, so now let me give you the example of two LGBT people. One we'll call Billy and one we'll call Timmy. Billy thinks that he needs to do what is very evil, which is force everyone to be gay, to remaster videos and music on YouTube and elsewhere to make it gay-like, to push a gay agenda. He happens to be bisexual, and his offspring, 10 generations from now, might very well hate him for what he's doing, but he doesn't care. He doesn't like heterosexual people. He doesn't like people who are different, and he wants to force them into a sort of whitewashed, Jewish washed, and LGBT washed planet where no one has rights. They can only operate within the boundaries of white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacy, with token minorities helping them confuse things and helping them push that line, what have you. Timmy says that that's not fair. he prefers my region argument. Timmy represents most of the LGBT community. We have no reason to believe that he doesn't. And he says, not only are you wrong about that, but part of what it means to be part of a, what you might call a gay collective, is to disagree with Billy about that. To say that you want people to have rights because you've been oppressed, you've been treated badly, you've been in a corrupt government, you don't like to be treated unfairly, you want your rights. And you don't want to take them away from anybody else, especially the most righteous among the heterosexual people and other LGBT people who do not want to live with the guilt of having forged that outrageous planet or have their brain hacked so they forget what has happened, which is like the idea of a horror movie or something. Billy slits Timmy's throat and terrorizes the rest of the LGBT community. And he says if anyone disagrees with him, that they're homophobic. He has a deep-seated hatred for freedom because it leads to a planet that is mostly heterosexual. He has a deep-seated hatred for the freedom of speech, especially because it leads to people trying to reason with him and trying to talk sanity unless they're terrorized into next week. But that's not quite freedom of speech if you're terrorized to the point where you can't say what you feel, what you mean, what you think should be said. Now Timmy's gone. And over time, there's less Timmys and there's more Billys. And they're redefining what it means to be LGBT. In the name of creating an LGBT world. But is it really? Or is it a satanic LGBT world? And for those of you who don't like that word because you identify as Satanist, we'll say an evil LGBT world. For those of you who don't like that because you identify as moral relativist because you've been listening to Billy's your whole life, we'll say an intolerant, an unfair, and unjust LGBT world. Why on earth should the elite or anyone else build that world? Why should they build the disgrace of a planet that is white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacy themed? That is not fair, that is not just, that is not right. And people shouldn't have their brains hacked until they think it is. And we see the signs that it's not right because we see that they're guilty. We see that they are fragile when it comes to talking about these things. Both parties can agree. If you put Republicans on a lie detector test, you would find out quickly, based on the pattern of evidence, not that the tests are perfect, but the pattern of evidence, that they know that people are fragile these days. People in the governing class, for example, that people are full of guilt, that they're denying things, they're spazzing out, that they feel bad. That there's certain people with privilege who don't want to give it up, who don't have a sound plan for the planet. And they say that they're doing things in the name of white supremacy or Jewish supremacy, or LGBT supremacy, while they're bringing their people down faster than any other group. So to speak, if for nothing else, I urge you all to stand firm and to be brave and to challenge the elite on their structuring and their mentality, which includes narcissism, which has allowed this depraved structure to continue. Better is open rebuke than love that is concealed. The people who are encouraging them to ruin their offspring's future and to continue on the trajectory are not their friends, especially if it is them themselves. They are their worst enemy. And I'm the voice of wisdom, the voice of reason, the voice of truth. I urge you all to discuss these things effectively and to see the severity of the situation for what it is.